Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. A major WWE faction has been split up on Raito by TKO Triple H. Despite the stars meeting each other before the show got underway, things were unfortunately not meant to be. Before WWE Raw today, there was a picture of Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane posted. Asuka posted the picture, but she was nowhere to be seen on the red brand tonight. On top of that, the faction was split up. Kairi Sane finally made her return after a long injury, but there was no on-screen meet-up of her and Io Sky, who has been doing everything alone in the absence of her faction mates. Since it's Triple H who makes all final creative decisions, this would be his call. During her entrance, Kairi Sane didn't get the usual announcement saying that she was representing damaged CTRL. Also, there was no Io Sky in her corner. Asuka has not officially returned, so her absence was more expected. Triple H has quietly split up the faction on screen without announcing it. Had they been together still, the usual signs and the screens and ring announcements would have all been present. Dakota Kai was naturally also missing, but that's because she has been released by the company. At this point, it remains to be seen if the game still keeps her as part of the Kabuki Warriors with Asuka when the Empress returns. In his free time, Urban is an avid reader and spends hours lost in books. Urban has worked in the field of wrestling and mixed martial arts journalism for several years. In addition to his work on Sportskeeda, Urban is a fiction writer and has co-written over 20 biographies. He was also a columnist for 90 Minutes. Triple H quietly splits up Major Stable on WWE Raw. In a move that sent shockwaves across the WWE universe, Triple H has quietly dismantled one of Raw's most prominent stables, without the usual dramatic flair fans have come to expect. The breakup, subtly executed over a series of weeks, culminated in what appears to be the official end of the faction on the latest episode of Monday Night Raw. The dissolution marks yet another chapter in Triple H's evolving vision for WWE, where long-term storytelling and realism are prioritized over spectacle. While not publicly acknowledged during the broadcast, the writing has been on the wall for weeks, and fans are finally connecting the dots. A sudden shift in direction. The stable in question, the Judgment Day, had been dominating WWE Raw throughout much of the last year. With members like Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio, the group carved out a reign of terror across both the men's and women's divisions. However, recent weeks saw a shift in tone. It began with subtle tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, especially after Priest's Money in the Bank win and failed cash-in attempts. While the faction always operated in a chaotic gray area, where internal competition was expected, things escalated beyond repair after Rhea Ripley's injury and Dominic's increasing failures in key matches. Triple H, now firmly in charge of creative decisions on the main roster, appeared to take a quiet but definitive step toward dismantling the group, not with a major betrayal angle or explosive confrontation, but through isolation, new storylines, and split screen time. The quiet cracks. Over the past few weeks, fans noticed that Priest and Balor were no longer tagging together as frequently. Their promos lacked unity, and their backstage interactions felt colder. Dominic Mysterio, once the group's mouthpiece and heat magnet, started appearing more often with other superstars or in singles matches, without the backing of his Judgment Day allies. Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley, the group's powerhouse and the WWE Women's World Champion, had already taken on a solo tone in her promos and programs. Her injury absence only solidified the cracks. This week's Raw made it all but official. Balor competed in a singles match with no mention of Priest. Dominic was nowhere near Ripley or Finn. And while there was no on-screen confrontation, the faction was clearly fragmented, each member now charting their own course. Triple H's signature style. The quiet breakup bears the creative fingerprints of Triple H, whose booking style often leans towards slow-burn storytelling rather than dramatic, week-to-week twists. Known for building long-term feuds with layers of subtlety and realism, the game is clearly drawing influence from his time running NXT, where character depth was prioritized over superficial action. By not making a big deal out of the Judgment Day's dissolution, Triple H not only preserved the integrity of each member, but also left the door open for future reunions, betrayals, or even a potential reformation down the line under different circumstances. This strategy stands in stark contrast to Vince McMahon-era faction breakups, which typically involved dramatic betrayals, chair shots, or humiliating segments that ended friendships and alliances in one night. Instead, Triple H seems to favor a more grounded approach, one that allows characters to evolve naturally without abandoning their past alliances abruptly. What's next for the members? Damian Priest stands out as the biggest benefactor from the breakup, still holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Unless he's recently cashed in off-screen, Priest is being groomed for a singles push, potentially as a top heel or even a tweener. His conflicts with Balor painted him as the most likely candidate to break out from the pack and challenge for a world title. Finn Balor, on the other hand, may pivot toward a new character direction. Having already had his run as leader of the Judgment Day, Balor may return to a more solo, anti-heroic persona or even explore a babyface redemption arc, particularly if he ends up feuding with his former teammates. Rhea Ripley, though sidelined due to injury, remains one of the top female stars in the company. Upon her return, she could align herself with someone new or stay distant from factions altogether to reinforce her dominance in the singles division. Dominic Mysterio is perhaps in the most precarious position. While he's proven to be one of WWE's most effective heat magnets, his credibility has taken a hit due to recent losses and lack of backup. However, this might be part of a larger plan to rebuild his character from the ground up, possibly involving a surprise alliance or storyline reinvention. Fan reaction: confused, but curious. The reaction from the WWE Universe has been mixed. Some fans expressed confusion, wondering why there was no concrete moment to signal the stable's official end. Others praised Triple H's nuanced approach, pointing out that it reflects the way real-life relationships and alliances deteriorate, not always with fireworks, but with silence and distance. Social media lit up during Raw with speculation. Did we just watch the Judgment Day quietly fall apart? No segment? No betrayal? Triple H playing the long game again? One fan posted on X, formerly Twitter. It's weird seeing Finn out there alone. No Priest, no Rhea, no Dom. Judgment Day might be over without even saying the words, another user noted. The bigger picture. Triple H's decision to break up a major faction quietly may signal a shift in how WWE handles faction dynamics moving forward. With stables like the Bloodline also going through slow, complex transformations, the era of explosive dissolutions may be giving way to more psychological and storyline-driven breakups. It also reflects WWE's broader efforts to make their shows feel more like serialized dramas, a strategy that's been drawing comparisons to hit TV series for its layered storytelling. While fans may still crave the spectacle of an Ambrose chair shot or a Seth Rollins betrayal, there's something to be said about a breakup that unfolds in silence, echoing the reality that not all alliances end with war. Some simply fade away. Conclusion: Triple H has once again demonstrated his aptitude for sophisticated storytelling with the quiet split of a major WWE Raw faction. While it may lack the explosive payoff of traditional breakups, the subtlety gives WWE's creative direction a fresh layer of realism. The Judgment Day may be done for now, but its legacy will live on in each member's next chapter, and fans will be watching closely to see where their individual paths lead.